Hi, I'm Matt from HockeyReviews.ca, and today we are looking at the Brian's Optik 2 goalie pants. I will be directly comparing them to a pair of CCM Pro Stock goalies pants. These specifically are the HPG13As. So this is the new style with the rounded corners. This is not NHL spec, but it's close. There's a few things that aren't, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. The reason I am comparing these to Pro Stock pants is because in my experience, Pro Stock goalie pants are on a different level of their retail, like compared to their retail counterparts. Same with the chest protectors. That is extremely evident in the CCM ones because the materials are basically all different. And they totally feel like they are different models, but they really feel like one's made for a different level of hockey compared to the retail one. Weight is not what they care about when they make these. The retail ones of CCM and Bauer weigh way less than what this does. Now, it's not like crazy heavy, but it's heavier than retail, and that's why this is being compared to it. We'll just say because it's impressive. So, I did a comparison on this and the non-NHL spec one before. I'm not going to really go over this that much right now. The only reason I have it here is because I'm comparing protection levels on this compared to this. I've worn this for quite a while now, I think over a year. Very happy with protection levels on the Pro Stock pants. They've worked well for me. The wear hasn't been the greatest, but besides that, they have been great. For me, Pro Stock pants have a lot to live up to. Pants have a lot to live up to. Here is the Optik 2, and so far I'm very impressed. One thing I want to show is you can kind of see how these are like sitting differently. The reason being is there is this piece in the thigh that you can take out. So obviously this goes right here and it velcros in and it gives you a little bit extra protection. I didn't even know about this until I really dove into this and tried to take a look at it. So that goes in there. I'm gonna stick it, actually I'll leave it out for this whole video, and for when I'll have another shot of me wearing the Optik 2 chest with this. So I'll show that. So I'll talk about how the legs feel differently when I put this on later. But so as it is, this is the Optik 2 pant. As you can see, features removable thigh piece. You have double adjustment right here for these elastics. You have 1, 2. This one right here actually goes to the inner belt, which is right here. So that goes all the way around. You can see the attachments here. Theoretically, you could just pull this out, undo it, yank it out from the one side, and you would no longer have an inner belt. I don't like inner belts because I tuck my chest in and I find that they get in the way of my chest protector. Pro Stock stuff can't have inner belts because you're supposed to have pants that kind of fit your waist. So that's one of the things that make this not a Pro or NHL spec, is this inner belt. Personally, if I was ordering this, I would delete that option, get it out. So yeah, this is the pant. You can see the liner is their kind of air mesh. Here is the butt protection. You have your segmented layers. Pretty softer padding on here, harder right here. So when you fall, if you fall on your ass, decent all the way through. Ken seat is still made in Canada, which is always nice. I guess going on to the front, you have this, your kind of belly protector, and it's laced in right here, and then it is, I think it's laced in below too. It's laced in way down here, right there at the very, very bottom. So about right here it's laced in, and up here you can also obviously adjust that up and down based on how you like. And then but these two come out, if I can get this out, I think it's looped into something. Okay, so they're different laces. So you have a lace right here that's actually holding this piece where it is. So I guess you could theoretically unlace this and move it up and down, but these are separate from the top part, but they do go into, at the bottom, it is that lace that is holding the bottom of this together. So that's how that is. I like these pads. My CCM one doesn't really have it. It's kind of just all stretch here. I like this for a little bit added protection. Now, when you wear a massive jock like the Warrior that I have, you don't really need that added protection through here. It just works the way it is. So, but I guess that's how it is. So you have your loops right here for your suspenders, which go onto the back right here. So it's a nice floating piece right there. I'm a huge fan of, lay this down, of this design because if these rip out, this is super easy to replace on this piece of Gen Pro. Whereas when it's like in here, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to kind of sew around and stuff like that. Just not quite as easy. I've had to replace these on my CCM Pro Stock pants because they rusted out. So it's just kind of annoying, and that's just personal experience. These thigh, so when you wear these, obviously this will kind of move with your leg, and so it can segment, so it moves with your leg. This is a pretty thick and dense foam. It seems to be pretty good in that sense for protection, very similar. Actually, it feels a bit harder and stiffer than my CCM Pro Stock, so that's a pretty big praise there. You do have padding behind it too, and you also have, hopefully this shows up on camera, there's this big piece right here that is basically all behind that padding as well. So you have this level, then you have another level right here, you have these, but then back there you still have kind of your piece right up there, which this is kind of standard in most pants, but I'm just talking about how the protection's built up. You also don't really have anything out here, as you can see, but what you do have is on the inside, again, similar right there. So this piece right here covers all that, very similar to the Pro Stock pants I have that I showed. So that's how that is all there, and that's really solid. I did impact tests on all of these just with my fist and my hand behind it, and even without the added padding here, my hand behind felt nothing. So everything is really good there. You have a very thick, solid piece of, I'm assuming there's plastic in here, right here, and you have a foam behind it too. Hopefully that shows off the thickness. It's pretty thick. Add in this piece of foam, and you got a lot of protection there. The outer piece right here, again, you have, it's not as thick as the front, but it's definitely still pieces there, and this is only for more or less brushing shots and on the side. I'm not sure if this is NHL legal, because I know the CCM ones, this is all one piece now, and well, there is an inner block, but I'm not sure if this outer block is still allowed. But regardless, I do love the different materials used here. You have their, I can't remember what that's called, then you have your Primo right there as well. Inside block is actually double segmented, which is nice, so it does kind of wrap your leg better. And there's pretty thick padding right there for the inside, so if pucks do squeeze between your thighs, you have padding right there too. So you have a harder piece of foam here, softer here, and kind of a in between right there. Decent protection all around. I think that's kind of it, showing off like what these are. I guess we'll go to the back. The back, you're padding right here. You have that tailbone protection like I showed, and then you have this, so like your skates and stuff won't cut it, and so this will bend more with your leg. I think my CCMs have something similar, just like that. So that's pretty much it for these pants in terms of like how what's on them and everything. Obviously I can't use these because these aren't mine, just like the chest protector, so it will be going back. But I thought they were really an impressive piece of kit, so I wanted to go over it. If I were to buy a piece of pants right now, and if I need a pair of pants, I would go the Optik 2 route, which is these. I would get a large legs, which is these, but the upper piece, I would have to get either an XL or a double XL because I can't tuck my chest in this. So I'll show that with the Optik 2. It's a little too tight around the waist for tucking. Works perfect if you keep your chest on the outside, which I'm pretty sure this is how it was designed. But so I would need to make this a little bit wider so I could get my chest in there. But for protection and everything, really impressed with them. Another awesome thing about these pants is that they are custom when you do it. So you can get your own stripes down it. You can do a bunch of things. Someone did like blood dripping because he has like Reaper pads or something, or Jack the Ripper. So it was like blood dripping down the sides, or I guess up the sides. Really cool looking, really impressive, really unique. So got to give him props for that. All right, so here are the pants on. So this leg does not have the piece of foam on the inside. You can well, I can see it looking down. This one does stick out further. When you're wearing it, it does feel a bit more snug. Not a ton, to be totally honest, so it's not a huge difference wearing it, but like this one does feel a little bit more padded. That one was fine, but I would keep it in. So this is with my Warrior Jock. Hopefully you can see that. This thing is massive. You can see it kind of sticking out right there. Always try on your pants with your chest protector and with your jock on, because it does make a difference when you try on pants. If I didn't wear that jock, I could pull this up higher and it would fit very differently compared to when I do wear it. And you do want your knees, you do want a gap on your knees. That way when you go down, your pads are not going to be interfering. The knee block isn't going to be interfering with this. So anyways, these pants on, pretty tight around here. They will definitely need to be broken in. I mean, these are protective pant. Movement though, pretty good. I don't feel like too restricted. I could wear these in a game, no problem. There is one part, so this part, doing it tight and everything, makes a big difference. I would not even use this, so I would just take it out. Or if I were to order these, I would order it without. I do like the belly protector, or like that coming up for extra coverage, especially when you tuck your pants in. This part, I wear my pants loose again because I tuck all my chest inside, so I like it kind of being a barrel around my chest protector so it moves and rotates. These feel honestly really good. Padding everywhere is really solid. The one part that feels odd is right here. So it probably looks like it's bunching up. The tailbone protection almost seems like it's about that much too long, and it's bunching up at the bottom. So it's kind of putting this like diaper effect in. I don't know what it is with these and if it'll break in, but that's a little awkward for me. I think if I were to order this, again, if I were to do a custom order, I'd probably get that a medium size instead of a large. So that goes away. But yeah, just because when I'm putting these on, it's a little weird. All right, so here is the Optik 2 chest tucked into the Optik 2 pants. So both of these are a size large. In my opinion, this doesn't really work. Now it's kind of in there. The side without, so this one has that padding on the side, the little foam piece. The side without that is easier to get in, but it doesn't really come like that high. Like it's basically, here's it coming out compared to how I like it. On my pants, my chest comes out to basically like, my pant comes up to about right here. So there's a big gap there in terms of like how it's actually tucked in. To be honest, this just doesn't feel like it's designed to be tucked in. It's kind of moving a bit. It's kind of pushing everything out. So that's why I would go with a bigger waist if I was doing this. I might even increase the size of the waist to be able to tuck that in better. But again, I don't think that's really the goal for this one. When you take it out and you like tighten this all up, this definitely feels like it's more designed of how this should be worn. So when I'll put the arms in just for full effect, I should say. So I also have a bunch of videos on this chest protector on my channel, so check that out. So yeah, when this is out, it feels pretty like how it should be, to be totally honest. And when I mentioned this pillow right here, when you're wearing it on the outside of the pants like this, I do notice it, like I can feel it right here, but when I go like this, I guess it still does. It didn't the first time. It does push out a little bit, but not much, but it definitely feels a lot more natural wearing it on the outside of the pants like this than it would being tucked in. I don't like that personally. It's not my style. I like everything tucked in, so when I move, like it's all kind of contained. But this is obviously a personal preference thing, and this is how kind of it looks. So hopefully this is helpful. I guess my conclusion, I should say, is if I needed a pair of retail pants right now, this would be my option, but I would get custom sizing. I would get a wider waist and maybe taller, so I could really tuck the way I wanted to, because this doesn't really tuck the way I wanted to that much. But yeah, so that's about it for this video. I have a bunch of content on chest protectors that I've been testing out, so make sure you check those out on the channel. Also have a bunch of content on that on Instagram, so check that out in the description. Remember to subscribe to me on YouTube, like this video, hit the bell icon when you subscribe so you get notified when I make new content. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links in the descriptions. And if any of my videos help you out when you make a purchase, please reach out to your manufacturer on social media, let them know. It gets me on their radar so I can get gear and hopefully actually use it instead of just doing this overview type stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.